Hi everyone, Dominic Kotarski here, founder of Sales Success Academy, and welcome back to Sales Success Studio, where we're going to cover in today's training video, we're going to cover the Sales Success Determinator. And this is really the beginning. It's the reason I want to use this as our first sort of training to get ourselves moving in the right track, is this is something that we can use to determine our sales and determine our success, not only in sales but in life on a daily basis. And this is really truly the foundation where we can build upon. And what I want to do today, before we get really stuck way into the training, is I want to read you a quote from a gentleman named David Bohm, who's a nuclear physicist. And then I'm going to explain the quote so we can really determine how this will help us and serve us well to work out our sales success determinator. Listen to this. David Bohm says, "We could say that practically all the problems of the human race are due to the fact that thought is not proprioceptive." Proprioceptive, what does that mean? Well, that's what I want to talk about in the video. Let me just put the computer down. Great, so proprioception is really what we want to talk about. It's something that the body has. So let's go back into the first time when you were little and your mother said, whatever you do, don't go near that fire or don't touch that flame. And you know, of course, the first thing you did is you went over and you wanted to touch the flame and ow! What happened? You got burned. And what's great about getting burned is that you remember, your body remembers, and it'll never do that again. So every time you've seen a fire from that point, or you've heard that something is hot, our body remembers that, and it basically won't put us into danger again. Unfortunately, and that's called proprioception, that's the body's ability to have a memory. Unfortunately, our brain doesn't seem to have that unique function. And this is why you have the people doing, you know, the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different outcome, and people making the same mistakes over and over again. Well, we don't want to do that here in Sales Success Studio. However, we have to try to at least understand how this goes about so we can counteract that. And that's how, when you really reach a level of, you know, there's no such thing as perfection, but a level of top performance, you'll find that just by being aware of this, you'll be able to condition yourself to override some of the inabilities of thought to basically, you know, get you in a situation where you can't get out of. And what I want to talk to you, I guess, is really from the beginning is how thoughts affect feelings and feeling affect thoughts. And this is something that literally happens in proprioception. So what will happen is, the idea is that, give you an example, is that let's say you're off and you're on your way to your territory or on your way to see your client. You're driving and then a song comes on the radio and it's a great song and you're singing along, and the next thing you know, the song reminds you of a situation, let's say an old girlfriend that you're no longer with, and then you have some, you know, some happy thoughts and then some sad thoughts about that, but then the thought gives rise to a feeling. And the feeling that you have from that is you think to yourself, oh yeah, wow, that was bad, I really messed up there. And then the feeling gives rise to a new thought, and you're thinking, oh, I really messed that up, I hope I don't mess up that with my new girlfriend or my new relationship. And then the next thing you know, by the time you get to your appointment or get to your territory, you're in a down mode because you're like feeling bad and you're worried about your relationship, and then you got to all of a sudden clear your head and then go into your appointment. That's what happens in the idea of proprioception, is that we cannot control the ability of our thoughts to affect our feelings and the feelings to affect our thoughts if we're not aware of it. So the idea is to become aware of this situation, is that whether you have a thought first and then a feeling, or a feeling and then a thought about that feeling, and it really doesn't matter what happens because it works in both ways. The idea is it's hard to trace back to where the original input came in. So that's what happens, is we don't actually have a memory of how our thought or our feelings got triggered to make us feel in low energy or in a sad state. It works in our favor, and it can also work against us. That's why you often have, you know, when you talk about incantations. And incantations are where you can talk to yourself positively and really feel it emotionally, like, I'm going to have a great day today. Nothing's going to get me down. I'm going to do fantastic in this next appointment. I'm going to do great. I know I can do this. And that's where you really powerfully talk to yourself. And what you're doing is you're getting your thoughts and your emotions and your feelings energized to give yourself that power that you need to go out to your next appointment in your marketplace. Now, you don't want to overdo it, but what you want to do is be aware that your thoughts affect your feelings, and your feelings affect your thoughts. And whatever kind of input that you have, as you get to the end of it, you might not remember. So in order to determine your success, it's very important that your thoughts determine your feelings, and your feelings determine your thoughts. And everything that you're doing there will build up your self-confidence, it'll build up your beliefs, and it also will build up the power and the intention that you have. And this is what is the foundation, and this is what gets started. So that's why it's so important at the beginning of your day. Well, even it starts in the evening, the night before, just to prepare yourself. What kind of calls you're going to make for the day, what sort of situation you're going to go into, how many appointments you want to make, are you doing cold calling, are you in a situation where you've got some really important appointments, or are you making a presentation, what's going on. Get it started there, build up your self-confidence based on past successes you've had. You want to basically put your beliefs into a situation where you know you can do it and feel strong about yourself, and then you want to hit into your marketplace. Because what happens is, whatever happens around your thoughts and feelings will determine your forward motion. And your forward motion is your power. It's where you're going to go. It's your potential. It's how you hit the marketplace. And this is where you're actually out there for the first time and people are relating to you. Because the forward motion and the power that you have, the power, the focus, the potential that you have will determine your success always. And it's so important that you go in strong, you go in hard, and you go in bold, especially in our career in the sales field. You know, what I found is that if I go in at a really high energy, and if I go into the appointment with a lot of enthusiasm, and let's say my audience or my customer or whoever I'm talking to, obviously the first thing they want to do is they want to bring you down. So, and that's fine, because they want to be in control. No one wants to, you can't control anything that has too much power. So what you do is you start out strong. This is at least what works for me. Start out strong with energy, power, feelings. Then that gets your forward motion going. And as your forward motion is going, and you talk to a customer, what happens is that the impact you have on them, which is really the third thing that happens, is the impact will determine how they deal with you. And oftentimes what you'll find is the person wants to calm you down a little bit, which is great. And you can bring your emotion, your energy down a little bit, but I'll never go all the way down. I want to relate to them, but I want to kind of go down where they are and then start picking up the pace, picking up the enthusiasm, and picking up the pace of the conversation, because I want to make sure that I lead the conversation in a positive tint. Now, what happens is you're impacting, when you go out like that, you're obviously impacting people, but you're also impacting the marketplace as a whole. And this is really starting to get your momentum going. And the impact that you have will then, of course, determine the feedback that you get. So how did your meeting go? How well did the process go? What was the feedback? And the feedback, of course, is a loop that will then give you back into your thoughts and your feelings. And in order to succeed, you want to make sure that this thing is rolling in your favor. Rolling, rolling, rolling. And remember that what sits in the middle here is you. You sit in the middle. You're the one that decides and determines how well you're going to impact your marketplace and what's going to happen. So I really urge everyone today to be excited, be motivated. Think about the fact that we don't have proprioception of thought. Think about that we do have proprioception in our body. And remember to get that proprioception going into your thought process to get yourself feeling good, feeling great before you hit the marketplace. I urge everyone to go out there, be bold, be strong, be brave, and go for it today. Have a good one. Bye-bye.